Now is Hatem Bazian, a professor of Middle East cultures and languages at the University of California, Berkeley. Welcome to TRT World. Now, we know, of course, there have been many deadly raids by Israel on the Jenin camp over the past few months, but your reaction to this latest violence and just how much further do you think it could inflame such a volatile situation?
This is part of a deliberate policy of the Netanyahu government, Ben Gvir and Smotrich, to change the topography of the conflict with the Palestinians, doing so while simultaneously increasing settlements activity. We have seen that this assault on the Palestinians began in earnest during the Ramadan period and continues unabated. Recently, Netanyahu said that he wants to remove the idea of an independent Palestinian state from the minds of the Palestinians. And that can only be achieved, in my estimation, is by unleashing this type of violence on the Palestinians inside the West Bank. I want to remind at least our audience that Israel's actions in the West Bank is illegal. This is a Palestinian territory per Resolution 181, also relative to the articles of the Oslo Agreement, that Israel is in violation of both international law as well as the articles of the Oslo Accords that was signed between Palestinians and Israel.
Professor Hatem, you make so many interesting points, especially with regards to the illegality of what's happening. And we've heard this before, but they still continue. Israel it just continues. I want to go back to a point you made there at the beginning, saying that this is planned. Israel wants to change the topography of the conflict with Palestinians. What do you mean by that exactly? Why Jenin then? Why the Jenin refugee camp?
Well, Jenin is not isolated. Just previous to that, there was an assault on Nablus. Previous to that, there was assault also in Al Khalil, in other places around the West Bank. Changing the topography, meaning Israel wants to move for once and for all to end the possibility, even the remote possibility, of a two-state solution. And as such, removing this possibility involves putting down any type of Palestinians' opposition or resistance, whether inside the occupied territories or in Gaza. It is not coincidental that the expansion of settlements is going hand in hand with this violence, as well as allowing the settlers to take on daily almost pogroms directed at the Palestinians. So when I say this is deliberate, this is systematic, this is by design, not coincidental, or as often the Israeli government says, it's reaction to or response to. This is a policy that is being formulated at the highest level of the Israeli government with strategic outcomes planned for it, which is to end the possibility of the two-state solution for all intensive purposes.
Now, what do you expect the international response to be, given that you say this is planned, there is a hardline Israeli government, you have normalization with so many Arab countries, even where I'm speaking to you from. Given that context, what do you think the international response will be like now?
How much time do you have? Because the international community has been sleeping on the wheel, if not aiding and abetting Israel. The United States State Department is going to get up in the morning and puts out one of those statements that we're gravely concerned, we're greatly concerned, we're alarmed. All these are empty rhetoric. The European Union never misses an opportunity to continue to actually sing the Israeli tune. And the regional configuration in the Arab and Muslim world does not bode very well for the Palestinians. So in essence, the Palestinians are at this point left exposed, left alone. And we are hoping still possibly that there might be some response that will come in some various corners of the Arab and Muslim world that will put pressure, at least to stop this current escalation, making refugees of Jenin for the third time. These are refugees that have been on the move, maybe for the third time in their history, that they're being pushed outside of their homes and their land.
Thank you so much for joining us today and for your time and analysis, Professor Hatem Bazian, joining us there from the University of California, Berkeley. Thank you.
You're welcome.